Let's begin. Starting with a simple up and down vertical shake. Soft bounce in the knees, bounce in the ankles. Let's take a moment just to find a very gentle version of this. Eyes can be open, eyes can be closed. I'll talk more about that as we go. Inviting some sort of breath sound or sigh, some sort of like bringing the voice online. Nice way to release tension from the nervous system. So I'll be talking intermittently and occasionally throughout this guided session. I'll be giving a reminder in the form of either the breath sound or more of a full-on sigh. So listen into your system right now for where on the intensity dial feels best for your system today, at least in this moment. And maybe you don't know, that's okay, so we can test out a few different modes. We have a very subtle, gentle, almost like hard to see from the outside, but I can still sense a lot internally. I can start ramping it up. And I can ramp up with different variables. First, like the frequency, I can go very fine, but at a high rate. Or bigger. Heavier shake. So I'm going to model somewhere in between, and as we go, I'll be listening into my own system and might go through different phases of playing with different frequencies, different intensities of the shake. I think the two main intentions, one, feeling good, doing this to feel good in our bodies. It's very connected to intention number two, which is to release tension from the system. So what I recommend, I've done experiments before of 30 days in a row, shaking for an average of 30 minutes a day. The most common version of that was this up and down vertical shake is my home base. This can be a great movement meditation, very simple, very easy, classic. And from here, there's the different variables we've already talked about, frequency and intensity I can play with. And one of the main guidelines I give is if there is an impulse, especially a strong impulse for a different type of movement to emerge, especially if it's some sort of yawn, pandiculation, stretch that wants to happen, for example, I let that whole thing complete. Let me come back to the shake. So those are moments where the whole nervous system, musculoskeletal fascial system is automatically reorganizing. One of the principles we work with is that the body is self-organizing. Auto-organizing, the body is self-healing. Body knows how to heal, we just need to get out of the way. we get a cut, it's going to heal unless we perpetually pick the scab. So, guideline number 1 is get out of the way of your system when it wants to reorganize. Listen to your body's intelligence, that deep wisdom in your DNA. I like to give the model of sensing the internal compass. Read the lower belly, lower dantian, hara. Many cultures all have some sort of name relationship to the center of the body. So if that feels good for you to try on, perhaps you already do a version of this. But that's the inner compass. So listening into your body, which you can picture as a point, as a ball of energy, or this is like representative of the entirety of your being. This is just the center of your beingness. If you've taken any classes, especially any nervous system or somatic classes with me before, you know yawning's my favorite movements. So always encouraging that. You can totally stop the shake and like have a full body yawn stretch, known as pandiculation. And you can yawn as you continue to shake as well. These can come up naturally, perhaps, and you can also like induce a few to see how they feel. The tip on that is to roll the tongue either down or up on itself to create a little tension in the jaw area. So we have our up down vertical shake. A lot of things we can play with in the physical expression of that. And then we have full permission to let the body reorganize when those impulses arise. Listening for those impulses is a skill. So that feels like a foreign, newer concept to you. No worries. Just give yourself permission to listen, do your best. Sometimes you have to guess and trial and error. One of the somatic principles is what's the next just right thing for your system? And the just right thing is not too much, and it's also not too little stimulation. So in order to find that, sometimes you need to do too much, realize you've crossed the line. Sometimes you need to do too little, and realize you feel a little stagnant, or there was some more stimulation desired by the system. No problem, no judgment, all good. Organic intelligence mantra is the job is enjoyment. How do we enjoy these sensations? One way we can do that, and one way to really distribute the energy more throughout the body, is to imagine you're breathing through all of your skin in 360 degrees. So as you inhale, all of your skin inhales 360 degrees. And as you exhale, all of your skin exhales. And this should feel good. Should be at least a little bit of subtle pleasure in directing the breath throughout the body and then releasing another layer of tension on every exhale. The next deviation we can do to this up and down vertical shake is giving the permission to shake more spontaneously. So I have my home base here, and occasionally I feel this desire to shaking out arms in a different rhythm than the legs, shifting weight side to side. This doesn't have to look anything like what I'm doing. It's just one of infinite versions of spontaneous shaking. But think of like looking at a campfire, and like the flames of the campfire have this unpredictable nature to them. So this is more of a fire energy type shaking style. A little bit more higher intensity. Doesn't have to be. I'm trying to plan it less. Almost just taking a moment of like letting go of control. Seeing what wants to emerge from my system. And perhaps eventually I settle back down into my vertical shake. Obviously, everything I'm doing here, everything I say is invitational. So I could be here, you could be here, vice versa. I could be in my unpredictable shake, and you could be in your vertical shake. No big deal. A few more somatic cues we can bring in. We've talked about skin breathing. You can imagine a little string on top of the head, suspending your spine up. It's a little traction, maybe the chin tucks in just a little bit. Creates some space in your spine without tension. And maybe there's the slightest bit of posterior pelvic tilt, so small weight on the tailbone. So this traction, elongation of the spine. Breathing in through the nose and recommending a relaxed jaw as you exhale with a breath sound or sigh. I like to sense the string and the traction more in the inhale. So as I'm breathing through my nose, I grow a little bit taller. And then I relax that on the exhale. As you're breathing through the nose, allow the very start of a smile in the corners of the mouth. And that sensation of start of a smile, you can direct that and let that spread throughout all of your skin that you're breathing through. As if all of your skin is smiling. Another technique is to take the sensation of a smile and direct it inwards through your digestive system, through your organs. So the inner smile technique. Breathing down into the belly, down into the legs, down into the feet. So, body has permission to deviate from the shake. Body has permission to allow these moments of reorganization, yawn, stretch, pandiculation during the shake. You can play with our small little mobilizations of the spine, the ribs, the hips, the shoulders. So these little subtle movements of the torso while I'm continuing to shake. They can be more intuitive, spontaneous. They can be more in wave format. At any point you let the heels come off the ground and crash into the ground. You feel the scapulas rising and dropping down as well. This can be an occasional thing. If you're in an apartment, be respectful of downstairs neighbors. Do it very gently. If you're outside or don't have any downstairs neighbors, really let it crash. So you can sense that shockwave echo up through your system. So, just giving options here. If we will continue to develop a relationship with this practice. Another commonplace I will go and recommend for people is some visualization during this. And some simple visualization to start with is imagining your body as a tree or a mountain. So my legs either as my roots. So as I'm breathing down, I can feel the roots going beyond my feet, into the floor, into the earth below me, and feeling that sense of stability. It's going down, roots go down, and they also spread outwards. So this wide, strong, stable base. And a similar somatic effect you'll get in the visualization is if you imagine the body as a mountain. Down, out, wide, stable base. For me personally, when I'm more upright, I like to become a tree. I do things more like standing meditations and wide stance, I think more mountain there. But they both work. You can even, if you've experienced them, you can almost try both at the same time, or sort of alternating back and forth. Like a giant tree on top of a mountain. Play with it, enjoy it, make it uniquely yours. If you've done other landscape visualizations in the past, or with me, take your tree and mountain body into that landscape. Every natural sigh, every yawn is a sign of good, healthy down-regulation of the nervous system. Trying to find enjoyment. So always attuning towards these subtle pleasures. Just take a moment of exteroception, orientation, connecting to the environment via the senses. So the simplest one, while we continue to shake, is to let your eyes go where they want to go. And just noticing what you see, and see if you can take a moment of appreciation, of gratitude. So there's a purple flower outside. So orientation, this simple present moment Zen-like state. Whenever I do orientation, it's like my system is scanning for things in nature or art. Appreciation, gratitude, wonder and awe. Like amazing, these 5 purple flowers, like just growing in the midst of some other plants out there. So that you can choose to see nothing as a miracle, or you can choose to see everything as a miracle. So just notice something happens in our system when we take our attention away from our system, let it extend outwards into the environment. A phrase in organic intelligence as a unique approach to trauma healing through positive reinforcement, reconditioning the brain towards pleasurable, positive sensations, noticings. The phrase is the number one factor of biological resilience is the ability to extend our attention outwards. The opposite of that is this like getting trapped in the head, anxiety, rumination, depression, fight, flight, freeze. So from a embodied place, extending the attention outwards, noticing what's good. When you notice what's good, can you register that somewhere in the body? So let's do a little exercise with the eyes. I'm going to start with my eyes closed. Exhale completely. As I start to inhale, I slowly open my eyes. I let the eyes go where they want to go. Notice what looks good. Having some curiosity, some gratitude, perhaps even wonder and awe. And then as I exhale, I soften or close my eyes. And I sense my wide down and out base, my tree body or mountain body. Sense the sensations of releasing tension, anything that feels good, maybe just where I'm in contact with the ground. So at your own rhythm, the little task here is to, on the inhale, my eyes open, my eyes go where they want to go, I notice what looks good, have some appreciation for it, simple Zen-like presence in the here and now. And then on the exhale, soften and go internal, sensing my center, sensing my legs, perhaps sensing the hands, sensing all of the skin, something with the body. So on the inhale, my attention goes out into the environment, exteroception, noticing what's good in my senses. And on the exhale, go internal, notice what I can find that's good internally. If you're having a hard day, maybe you don't look for good, maybe you just look for neutral. So on the inhale, you can even just notice things like colors or textures. Neutral is totally fine, just noticing what is. So if there's something good, notice what's good. If not, just notice what is without any judgments. exhale, you can think a little extra relaxation of the abdomen, extra relaxation of the pelvic floor, of the legs, of the feet, even though we're standing on them. Feel free to continue with that if it's feeling good. If I'm going for these more extended shakes, sometimes if I don't move out of this position, there's like the slightest little ache starts to build up in my knees, so I just need to fold my body for a second. A little forward bend, squat movement. I can even shake going in and out of the forward bend. So about 3 minutes left till we get to the 30-minute mark. Become quiet for most of this time, allowing you to follow your intuition for what your system needs for this next 3 minutes. Trust that everything I've said, your system has registered it, and be available to what wants to emerge from your system, how your system wants to move. The job is enjoyment. I'll lead us out at the end. So as the video starts to come towards a close, listen into your system for what's the next just right thing for you. Perhaps it's to put on some music and continue shaking, or have a dance, do some floor work, go for a walk, take a nap. Many, many options, of course. What's the next just right thing for you? Today I'm going to let those shakes just kind of slowly fade out until I'm in a position of standing stillness. Sensing the string on top of the head, breathing through the skin, start of a smile, relaxing everything on the exhale. Noticing enjoyable sensations. This can be a great entry point into some longer standing stillness. Thank you for practicing today. Hope to move with you again soon.